What is going on, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts. Today we've got the new rock theme for deck build pack Secret Slayers revealed. The entire thing, all 13 cards. Yeah, and they have tuners apparently. Just reading the first sentence here by Yuga Organization. Shout out to them as always. I don't want to waste too much time. I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited for all of the Secret Slayers, the new Pirate archetype, everything. Let's just jump into it because we got 13 whole cards to get through. I don't want this to be too long. So this deck is called Adamatia. I guess at least this is the first translation. It may be something a little bit different for the TCG, but we'll see. Well, first off, we have Adamatia Seeker. It's an Earth Rock, level 2 tuner effect monsters. Tuner, 1200 attack, 1000 defense, and both of those effects are hard once per turn each. First effect, if you control an Adamatia monster, except for Adamatia Seeker, you can special summon this card from your hand. There you go. So like kind of just like a quick jump on the field. As long as you put any Adamatia on the field first, you can just drop him out. Really nice. Second effect, during your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if there is a non-tuner level 4 or lower rock monster among them, you can special summon one of them. Also, place the other cards on the bottom of the deck in any order. So that's pretty strong. Excavate 5, find any rock level 4 or lower non-tuner, and just special it to the field. It's a pretty good extender. I mean, obviously there is some randomness there, but like, I'm assuming the type of build you're going to be building with a deck that starts working like this is going to have a lot of level 4 or lower non-tuners anyway. So pretty cool. Next up we have Adamatia Researcher, an Earth Rock level 2 tuner effect monster. Also, they're both level 2. Cool. With 100 attack and 2100 defense. Big old booty. 2 hard once per turn effects. If you control a rock monster except for herself, you can special summon this card from your hand. Nice. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards from your deck, and if there is a non-tuner level 4 lower rock monster among them, you can special summon one of them. Also place the other cards on the bottom of the deck in any order. Great. I mean, these do exactly the same thing, right? Both level 2 tuners. Yeah, the main thing here is that they're just different names. So you could special one, you use the effect to excavate 5. Special the second one, use the effect to excavate 5 more. And kind of allows you to actually pop off with a higher ceiling here. Okay, kind of the same thing, so not too much to say there. Next up we have Adamatia Analyzer. This is a level 4 Earth Rock tuner effect monster, 1500 attack, 700 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card once per turn. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, so this is one that's more specifically better going second. Interesting. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if there is a non-tuner level 4 or lower rock monster among them, special summon one of them. Also place the rest of the cards back on the bottom of the deck in any order. So same second effect, but the first effect, the special summon, is a little bit different there, a little bit hyper going second. I would say these guys are a little bit better going first, but still can be decent going second. Decent start. I mean, excavating 5 and just getting a free special summon, not too shabby, especially built into a card that's all cards that like special summon themselves pretty freely from the hand. All right, next up we move to some stones. We've got Adamatia Crista Leonite. Is a fire rock effect monster, level 4, 0 attack, 2200 defense, so pretty big booty, and you can only use both of its effects once per turn as well. That first effect says if this card is special summoned by the effect of an Adamatia card, you can place one Adamatia card from your hand or graveyard on the top of your deck. So this kind of just lets you stack a card you have in your hand back onto your deck, and then before you do an excavation again, just get like it's stacked pretty much. Just helps stack it a little bit. Nothing crazy there. I don't think that's too good. I mean, getting a graveyard to the top of the deck is better. From hand to top of the deck is not that great. You already have access to that in your hand, unless it's like a card that's like kind of bricking you. I guess that makes sense too. Second effect, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target a fire synchro monster you control or in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, and if you do, place this card on the top of your deck. Alright, that's not bad either. I mean, kind of just recycles synchros, a fire synchro, which is kind of nice. And puts itself on the deck, kind of to load itself for a possible excavation again. That's kind of cool. I like that. Next up we have Adamatia Crista Raptite. This is a wind rock effects monster, level 4, 0 attack, 2200 defense. So again, big old booty, and 2 hard once per turn effects. Leave me alone. If this card is special summoned by the effect of an adamatia card, you can place one rock monster from your hand or graveyard on the top of your deck. Same thing as the other one. And then if this card is in your graveyard, you can target a wind synchro effect monster you control or in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, and if you do, place this card on the top of the deck. I don't really see anybody ever using these effects to put a monster you have on the field back in your extra deck to put this on the top, but in graveyard I definitely could see it coming up. Just recycling and just getting a targeted mill or excavation the next time you do. And then lastly, we have Adamatia Crista Dragite, a water rock level 4 effect monster, 0 attack, 2200 defense. I think I can see where this is going. First effect, second effect, both hard once per turn. You can activate them both in the same turn. If this card is special summoned by the effect of an Adamatia card, draw one card. Okay, that's a little different. That's a little something something. I like that. Just free plus as an extra draw. Second effect, if this card is in your graveyard, target a water synchro you control in your graveyard. Return it to the extra deck, and if you do, place this card on the top of your deck. Same thing there. Recycling, loading for another excavation. Nice. I like the first effect better, though, than the other ones. Getting those free draws. I like that for sure. Alright, not too shabby. Moving on here, we move to some synchros. We've got Adamatia Rise, Leonite. This one corresponds to the fire one, of course. He's a Fire Rock level 6 Synchro, 2400 attack, 2200 defense. Nice. It's completely generic. It is just one tuner and one non-tuner, and both his effects are hard once per turns. First effect, during your main phase, you can excavate 5 cards from your deck, and if there is an Adamatia card among them, you can add one of them to your hand and also place the other cards on the bottom of the deck in any order. So right there, essentially, that's just like, it's sort of a search. It's not as, generically good as a search, but you're probably going to find an Adamatia card off the top 5 cards of your deck, and you just get to add to hand. It's +1. Nice. Second effect, during your opponent's turn, if there is a fire monster in your graveyard, quick effect, target one rock monster in your graveyard and special summon it. That could be the fire monster, fire rock itself, could be him, could be the, so I guess it has to be him right now. So theoretically, you're trying to make them with their corresponding stone, is what it's going to seem like. But that's nice because you just reborn him, and then he uses his effect to place an Adamatia card from the graveyard back on the top of the deck. That could give you a good top deck for next turn, or just a good excavation as well. Or you could do that. Yeah, it just kind of sets you up for this guy's effect possibly next turn or something. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool there. Moving on, we've got Adamatia Rise, ARCHETYPE. I'm really confused with this monster, with their names, because then in the effects they're different. This is a Wind Rock Synchro effect monster, level 6 as well, completely generic. Its stats are a little different at 2200 and 2800, so a little bit bigger booty, but still decent attack. And 2 hard ones for turn effects. The first effect says, during your main phase, excavate 5 cards from your deck. If there's a rock monster among them, add one of them to your hand. Also place the other cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. Now, this is super interesting because this says any rock monster among them. That opens the lane for possibly getting to dig for a block dragon-esque card or any kind of rock support. You could play something like Power Giant, something like that, like an extender like that could be kind of nice. I'm not entirely sure, but it is just any rock monster generically, which is pretty cool. Second effect says, during your opponent's turn, if there is a wind monster in your graveyard, quick effect, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. I mean, this is just DD Crow, which is pretty cool. Banishes any card, not just any monster, which is cool. And yeah, you're just going to try and use your stone to get it out, and when you do, it gets a nice DD Crow-like effect. Not bad. I like this one too. I like them both. I think they're both decent. Moving up here, we've got Adamatia Rise Dragite. This is a wind. No, this one's water. I don't know why I put wind. There's a typo. Water Rock level 8 Synchro effect monster with 3000 attack, 2200 defense. Completely generic yet again as a level 8 Synchro and 2 hard ones per turn effects. First effect says, during your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if there's a rock monster among them, you can return cards your opponent controls to the hand up to that amount. Also place the excavated cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is just like a big board wipe. He's a 3000 beater. He's trying to just bounce a ton of cards from your opponent's field at the same time. So you could just excavate like 3 rocks and just bounce three monsters your opponent controls. That's pretty good. It doesn't target as well, so that's non-targeting, non-destruction removal. Very important to know as well. And the second effect says, during your opponent's turn, if there's a water monster in your graveyard, when your opponent activates a spell or trap, quick effect, you can negate that activation, and if you do, destroy it. So we've also just got a spell and trap negate as well. Obviously, though, like we've been saying, you do need the consistency of being able to guarantee you can get your water monster in the grave. But if you can, this is pretty good. I mean, it's really strong removal. It's just a spell or trap negate, and it's a big old body. I think it's a good card. That's just a good card right there. It's a good boss monster. Moving on, we've got a field spell called Adamatia ARCHETYPE. It's a field spell. All wreck monsters you control gain 500/500, which is a pretty nice buff. Second effect, once per turn you can take up to 5 Adamatia cards from your deck and place them on top of your deck in any order. That is so incredibly crazy because it guarantees you get the water monster mill. It guarantees, or excavation. It guarantees you get a wind, guarantees you get fire, guarantees you get all of them milled just the way you wanted it to. That's so cool. I was actually so surprised when I read this the first time when I saw it. This is such an awesome setup card for a deck like this. Like I was saying, like, you've got some decent boss monsters. You've got a DD Crow effect, you've got a negate of a spell and trap, but how consistently are you milling the right colored stones? And this card allows you to do that much more consistently, which is really awesome. Moving on, now we've got Adamatia Sign, a normal spell card. It lets you target 1 rock monster in your graveyard, generically, special summon in defense position. Then if you summoned an Adamatia monster by this effect, you can also place a level 4 lower rock monster from your deck on top of your deck. That's very nice as well, because you could just reborn either any of the Synchros or any of the non-stone, the first 3 monsters we looked at, and then just mill the monster you stacked on top of your deck because you special Adamatia. So you stack, then you get to mill the targeted card, the exact card you wanted to. It's really cool. I think this card is also very good. Nice extender, nice setup, really solid. Now we move on to some traps here. We've got Adamatia Relieve. This is a normal trap card that lets you tribute any number of Adamatia monsters, then target that many cards on the field, +1, and destroy them. So tribute 1 Adamatia monster, pop 2. That's not bad. I mean, it makes up for it that you're taking like 2 cards for 1. I think it's a solid card, really. Yeah, I don't know. There's not too much to say about that. I really don't want to be tributing my Synchros, so I'm curious how consistently the deck can put out like a Synchro plus another monster, particularly the boss monster. If you could put the boss monster with the negate and another monster on board with this, then that could be something, because that's pop 2 and a negate spell or trap. That's decent disruption there. But a pretty nice, just like, you know, Ritual Beast. What's the? Oh, I can't remember what the actual name of that one is. Fuck, I can't remember. And then the last card we have here is Adamatia Resonance. Oh, a counter trap. Haven't seen that before. All it says is, if you control an Adamatia Synchro monster, when a monster effect is activated, negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. We're just negating monster effects and destroying them. It's nice. You do need an Adamatia Synchro monster, so keep that in mind. It works kind of like Crescendo and the Salamangreat counter trap. You can't just have any Adamatia monster. You do need to get into your extra deck there. Obviously, this deck won't come out until after Master Rules 5 is in place, or the new Master Rules settings. So obviously, even though the deck doesn't have a Link monster, not a big deal. Hopefully, we would be able to get, theoretically, we'd be able to get, you know, 2 of these Synchros out in one turn, hopefully, or maybe like 1 with 1 or 2, both of these guys, something like that. That would be really cool. But I think it's a really cool idea so far. I mean, it works generically with other rock monsters, possibly a Block Dragon Abuser. We'll see. It has some consistency cards to stack the deck before you have to do your excavations. And yeah, I think this is really cool. This is a really exciting start. I'm not turned off by this. This is definitely a super interesting archetype. I'm curious to see how truly interesting it is and how good it can be. Obviously, it's one thing to theorize about it, but it's another thing to see it in practice, see how good it actually can perform. So I really look forward to looking at that in the next near future. But great start. Can't wait to see the zombie and plant archetypes here, but we've got the rock, and it's not disappointing. So, guys, let me know your thoughts down below on this archetype. Let me know if I missed some things. Let me know if you think this is better than I'm really making it seem, or worse. Obviously, I want to hear your thoughts. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for me here. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. And I will see y'all in the next motherfucking video.